Hi guys, welcome back to my channel S Chemistry. My name is Sonal. Today we are going to discuss how can you easily enhance your way of speaking English during an interview for a teacher's post or for a lecturer's post. So today what I'm going to discuss with you all is absolutely simple, nothing fancy, nothing huge, completely basic, and all of this is something that I have learned from different experiences in my life. I am just going to share with you guys today the same things, completely raw, nothing sugar coated, and as it has helped me in speaking the way that I do speak today, I hope it proves to be helpful to you guys too. So let's get started. As I said, I'm just going to tell a few things to keep in mind. The very first step of being able to communicate in English well is to get rid of the fear that you have fitted in your head. Now, in my experience, I have known quite a few number of people who can understand English well. The only issue is with communicating or speaking in English, presenting their ideas to a bunch of people, right? And it is not that they are bad at English or they cannot speak at all, because they do understand English. It is just the fear, basically the fear of judgment, that what if I pronounce a word wrong, what if I say the tense wrong, what if all of that is fear of judgment that we have in our head. And exactly that's the very first step. We need to get rid of that fear. Let me tell you, when you are speaking in English, when you're communicating in English, you can use really basic words and have your idea put across the table. You don't have to use any words which are sophisticated. Like, sophisticated itself is a fancy word, okay? That whole ideology of having good words, of having, like, strong words, it is not required. When you're going for an interview, a part of the interview is based on your communicating skills, not your entire interview. Your entire interview is majorly based on your subjective knowledge, that is the subject which you're going to teach. So over here, English plays a role, but it plays a very little role. Whatever ideas you have, whatever personality you have, using basic English words, basic language, you should be able to explain this to the panel members. So the very first thing is get rid of the fear. Coming to the next point, basically you need to know, when you go for a teacher's or a lecturer's interview, your interview is going to have three parts, right? The very first part will be like a personal question kind of a round, wherein you have to introduce yourself and answer a few questions here and there. The second will be like a question and answer session with respect to your subject, and the third is usually the demo delivery or the demo session, the demo lecture thing, right? So obviously you will be good with your second and third part, that is the technical part of the interview and the demo delivery. Fine, because that is completely subjective in nature, depends on the subject that you have chosen. Fine. So when you talk about enhancing your communicating skills with respect to your interview, we are only talking about the first part of the interview, wherein you'll have to introduce yourself, you'll be asked a few questions. Fine. So I believe it is easier to get through with this particular section of your interview with more and more practice. Okay, so what I would suggest is that, as per the post, now we are talking about lecturer's interview or teacher's interview or any other post that you are applying for. As per the post, go to the internet and collect at least 10 to 12 questions which are usually asked. And let me tell you, at least in my experience, the starting questions are always the same. At least for me, I'm saying. The very first question has always been, please introduce yourself to us. Please tell us something more about yourself. I have made a video on that as well. I'll put the link down below. Okay. So similar questions to this, go on the internet, search and pick 10 to 12 questions. Okay. And prepare your answers for that and practice. The more and more you practice, you will definitely get better at it. Okay, so first try to memorize or learn those answers, okay, the sentences, whatever you have, and then practice in front of the mirror, practice with your friends, practice it with your families. You can even ask a friend or a family member to take a mock interview for you, like like a practice interview kind of a thing. This particular saying that practice makes a man perfect is indeed very true. Okay, so all you need to do is practice, and you will easily get through the first section or the first part of your interview, wherein you have to tell the panel members a few things about yourself. And when you're writing the answers, keep it simple. You don't have to be like, exquisite, which is again like a fancy word. You can keep it simple. Practice it in a steady pace, in a steady speed, so that whatever you say is understood well. Okay, they hear it well. So your pitch or your volume of speaking, okay, that also has to be proper. All of these factors can be ticked off only when you practice. So these were the combined tips. Like, you need to prepare some questions, write down their answers with respect to yourself, with respect to your personality, and practice as much as you all can before the interview. And don't think that this is like a waste of time, because usually when we start working, when we step foot into the professional industry, we do have continuous interviews, right? And obviously you'll be applying majorly for the same post. So this practice is going to always help you. So if you're a teacher, maybe you have applied in 3 to 4 schools. So in all the schools, the same, type of questions will be there. Obviously, introduce yourself is usually the first question. Then there are many other questions like your strengths and weaknesses, why should we hire you, how can you be an asset to our school, what are your methods of teaching, and all these things. So pick the most relevant questions, 10 to 12. They won't ask you 10 to 12, they'll maximum ask you like maybe 4 to 5. At least for me, it has been like 3 to 4 questions. That's it, right? And practice, and you are almost like 75% already there. The rest 25% will be during your interview. So talking about the remaining 25% is the last thing that I want to discuss with you all. When you're going for your interview, just be confident. Okay, as I said, you don't have to communicate using fancy words. Using basic English words is very, very sufficient, more than sufficient. Okay, but when you are speaking, you need to be slow, or you need to have a steady speed. You cannot be fast, because if you're speaking fast, no matter you're using simple words or you're using fancy words, it will be difficult for the panel members to follow. Okay, so one key factor during your interview is the confidence which you need to wear. Okay, if you're confident, you will also be calm, you won't be anxious. That is the last thing as an individual you can work on, is your confidence. Just be confident with respect to what you're telling them, and this confidence will only come once you all have practiced enough your questions, right? Because then in your brain you know that, yeah, I have already done this, I'm good at it. Okay, and even when you're practicing, like, don't take it like a joke. Imagine that it is your actual interview. Fine, then you will be in a better position to answer all your questions. Okay, so those were the 4 tips I wanted to share with you all. Okay, the very first one is to get rid of the fear. The second one is to prepare a list of questions and answers for like the first session of your interview. Third is to practice. And fourth is to be confident. Okay, so that's it I wanted to share with you all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If this video was helpful to you guys, then please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your family and friends, or to whoever it might be helpful. I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.